Welcome back to the Daily Morning Sports Feed on Reds Army, with me as editor Olivia. Today, let's take a look at some notable sports news in the past 24 hours. Thank you for always supporting and accompanying us. Come to the following hot news. Rodríguez, $209 million deal, could jump to $409.3 million for 15 years. Seattle Mariners edge Cleveland Guardians in extra innings. Bills' Sean McDermott addresses allegations against Matt Araiza. I haven't slept a lot. Rodríguez, $209 million deal, could jump to $409.3 million for 15 years. Julio Rodríguez and the Seattle Mariners are set on a long-term relationship in the Pacific Northwest, agreeing to a $209.3 million contract starting next season that could be worth $409.3 million over 15 years. The deal announced Friday for the 21-year-old All-Star outfielder includes 7 seasons. A 5-year player option, an 8-year club option with award escalators and the possibility the option could extend to 10 years. If Rodríguez earns 2 MVP awards by 2028 or finishes among the top 5 in voting 4 times, the deal could be worth $469.6 million over 17 seasons, including postseason award bonuses. If Seattle turns down a one-time team option for 2030-37, which must be exercised after the 2028 World Series, there is a mutual option that could be exercised after the 2029 series calling for $168 million from 2030 to 36. There also is a player option that guarantees $90 million from 2030 to 34. Julio is among the most exciting players in the game and has only scratched the surface of what's to come, Seattle President of Baseball Operations Jerry Dipoto said in a statement. We feel the uniqueness of this deal befits the person. His infectious personality and ability on the field are only surpassed by his character away from it. We are thrilled that generations of Mariners fans will have the privilege of watching him play in T-Mobile Park for many years to come. The contract for the All-Star rookie calls for a $15.3 million signing bonus payable within 60 days and salaries of $4 million next year, $10 million and $18 million annually from 2025 to 29. He gets a full no-trade provision. Seattle's option calls for $25 million annual salaries from 2030 to 37. Rodríguez has a player option that could be exercised after the 2029 World Series, a provision calling for $18 million annually from 2030 to 34. There is a mutual option that could add $168 million from 2030 to 36. He's learned a lot over the last 4.5 months about Major League Baseball and things he needed to work on and continue to improve upon, Seattle manager Scott Servais said Friday. Really good teammate. I mean, you can go on and on describing where he's at. But there's a lot of baseball, really good baseball ahead of him, and I know that's what excites me and the organization. Rodríguez has become a star in his first season with the Mariners. He blossomed from starting spring training as the possible opening day starter in center field to an all-star in his first season. Rodríguez entered Friday hitting .269 with 20 home runs, 64 RBIs, 23 stolen bases and an OPS of .799. When he homered on Wednesday, Rodríguez became the fastest player in American League history to reach the mark of 20 homers and 20 stolen bases, surpassing Mike Trout. Rodríguez is the leading candidate for the AL Rookie of the Year and has helped Seattle be in playoff position entering the final stretch of the regular season with a chance to end the longest postseason drought in major pro spots. I was fortunate enough. I worked for the Angels a little bit when Mike Trout was coming on board there, and Mike's the greatest player in the last decade without a doubt, Servais said. Julio has got a lot ahead of him, but they're similar. Personalities are much different, but on the field they're very similar talents. They're 5 tool players. They can run, throw. They have power. I'm just looking forward to having him as part of the organization for a long, long time. If Rodríguez wins 2 or more MVP awards and finishes among the top 5 in MVP voting in 4 years, the salaries for the club option years would increase to $35 million and the option would extend to cover the 2038 and 2039 seasons. For 1 MVP award along with 1 additional top 5 finish or 3 top 5 finishes, the option salaries would increase to $35 million without the 2038 and 39 seasons triggered. For 4 top 10 MVP finishes, the option prices would increase to $32.5 million and for 2 top 10 finishes, the option price would go up to $30 million. If the club option is declined, the deal includes a mutual option that could be exercised after the 2029 World Series and call for $24 million annually from 2030 to 36. If both the team option and mutual option are turned down, Rodríguez has a player option that could be exercised after the 2029 World Series, a provision call NG for $18 million annually from 2030 to 34. The player option salaries would escalate to $25 million annually for one MVP award and 2 All-Star selections or elections, $22 million for 10 combined All-Star elections or selections and Silver Slugger wins, and $20 million for 8 combined All-Star elections or selections and Silver Slugger wins. Rodríguez has yearly award bonuses of $150,000 for MVP, $100,000 for World Series MVP, $50,000 each for League Championship Series MVP, Silver Slugger and Gold Glove, $50,000 for All-Star election and $25,000 for All-Star selection. Rodríguez was already a burgeoning star with his performance in the first half of the season, but broke out on a national stage during the Home Run Derby at the All-Star Game in Los Angeles. Rodríguez reached the final where he lost to Juan Soto, but had a memorable first 2 rounds where he hit 63 total home runs and beat Corey Seager and Pete Alonso. On top of his pure talent, Rodríguez's demeanor and charisma on the field have only added to what could be a special season for the Mariners. His smile and joy for the game has been reminiscent of a past center fielder for the Mariners and some of the same characteristics Ken Griffey Jr. showed early in his career. Rodríguez was part of some controversial comments made by former Mariners team president Kevin Mather that came to light in early 2021. Mather's comments were made to the Bellevue, Washington, Breakfast Rotary Club in February 2021 and included disparaging comments about the English of Rodríguez and former Seattle pitcher Hisashi Iwakuma. Mather resigned within days of his comments becoming public. Survey praised Rodríguez's English on Friday as part of handling the attention that's come his way at age 21. "I've said this often, his ability to command the English language at such an early age has really helped," Survey said. "It's not easy. If any of you have gone to a foreign country and tried to pick up the language there, it's really challenging. For him to do that at such an early age, it's really helped him. It's helped him on the field. It's helped him off the field and in relationship building and everything else." Seattle Mariners edge Cleveland Guardians in extra innings. Mitch Haniger singled home the winning run in the 11th inning and the Seattle Mariners beat the Guardians 3-2 on Friday night in a matchup of American League playoff contenders. The Guardians' lead in the AL Central was trimmed to 3 games over the Minnesota Twins, who blanked the San Francisco Giants. The Mariners are clinging to a postseason spot in a tight wild card race. After a tense pitching duel between starters Shane Bieber and Logan Gilbert, the Mariners got a terrific effort from their bullpen and pulled it out. Haniger hit a leadoff single in the bottom of the 11th on a 2-0 pitch from All-Star closer Emmanuel Clase, 2-3, to score automatic runner Dylan Moore from second base. First baseman Carlos Santana threw out a runner at the plate in the top of the 11th, and Penn Murphy, 4-0, retired Tyler Freeman with the bases loaded to end the inning. The first 4 runs of the game scored on sacrifice flies. Bills' Sean McDermott addresses allegations against Matt Araiza. "I haven't slept a lot. Friday night was never going to be solely about football for the Bills. The night before, as the team was traveling to Charlotte for a preseason game against Panthers, the Los Angeles Times reported that rookie punter Matt Araiza had been accused of taking part in a gang rape of a 17-year-old woman last October while he was at San Diego State. Araiza, who was inactive for the game, issued a statement Friday claiming his innocence. "The facts of the incident are not what they are portrayed in the lawsuit or in the press," Araiza said, per ESPN's Adam Schefter. "I look forward to quickly setting the record straight." After the game, Bills coach Sean McDermott was careful to sound neutral in his press conference, but he was clearly emotional on the podium as he answered questions. What did Sean McDermott say about Matt Araiza? "It's not a situation we take lightly," McDermott said when he was asked what he would say to Bills fans. "I'm hurt. I understand, women are hurt. And it's emotional. It's not easy to hear about some of the things I've heard about over the last several hours, and I haven't slept a lot, to be honest with you. Because this is a game. But there's other things that are more important than this." Per NFL Network's Mike Giardi, McDermott said it was his decision to bench Araiza, whom McDermott named the starting punter over incumbent Matt Haack days earlier. Third-string quarterback Matt Barkley punted Friday. It's clear we have work to do to continue to figure this thing out here, McDermott said, per GRD. According to NFL Media's Grant Gordon, McDermott also said, "We want to find the truth and do this the right way. We're working on finding that truth." What did the Bills know of the allegations? The Bills have been criticized since the Times story came out for their pre-draft vetting of Araiza. The team said in a statement Thursday that it conducted an investigation after learning that the woman was suing Araiza and 2 other San Diego State players. "We were recently made aware of a civil complaint involving Matt from October 2021, the Bills said. Due to the serious nature of the complaint, we conducted a thorough examination of this matter. As this is an ongoing civil case, we will have no other comment at this point." McDermott's comments Friday implied that some information is new to him. That makes the timeline of what the Bills did and didn't know confusing. According to The Athletic's Tim Graham, the Bills were made aware of the allegations last month, which would mean after they drafted Araiza in April but before they named him the starter. The next step for the Bills will be to determine if it's in their best interest to stay with Araiza. And those are also the most outstanding morning news today. Thank you to everyone for listening and following redsarmy's daily news. If you find the video interesting and useful, please click like and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any of the latest sports news.